What's going on, guys? JHoyt back with you today. Welcome back to episode number 14 of the Chicago Blackhawks franchise mode. If you guys remember last time, we kind of had a little bit of a longer episode. We went from kind of the middle of the season in January to the end of the season. It was 34 games in which we were able to clinch a playoff spot here in the first round against the Nashville Predators. So we do have a tough opponent coming up here with Nashville. But if you guys don't remember who's in this team, I guess I'll go ahead and show you again. There's no difference with our lineup. Just kind of made sure everyone was in their right spots. Made sure Saros was starting and all of that fun stuff. Got the AHL team all situated. But here we go. Here's Nashville. So we got Forsberg, Johansson, Fiala. Amazing first line there. Tolvin, Turris, Arvidsson. Good second line. And then their bottom six is, 80, 81s, I guess 79, 78. So not bad overall there on the forward group. On defense, we got the top four that are amazing. But after that, their third line is kind of average, below average, I'll say. And then the only difference that I saw from last video to this video was I simulated one day, so it would be the first day of the playoffs when we're starting the video. And, of course, Pecorino in the net. So no real surprise there. They still got the same three guys scratched, and obviously we have the same lineup. So, also, if you guys remember, we lost, who was it? Dylan Strome to an injury a little bit back, and he has a concussion. So he's going to be returning April 27th, which is actually after the first round, and it'd be about game 2 or so, game 3-ish area for that. But let's get right into the episode. We're going through the entire playoffs today. That's our goal, is to get all the way to the Stanley Cup and win the Stanley Cup in today's video. That's the goal. So, yeah, Strom's going to be back to 27 to be what? Game, I guess depending on how the next series goes. So, like 1, 2, 3, maybe 4, depending on how everything goes with that. So, as per usual, injuries are on, goalie rotations are off. So let's get right into the first game of the playoffs. If you guys don't remember how we do this, we come into the actual game itself and simulate through it. See all the events that lead up to the victor of the game. So we increase the speed here. Until we get a goal, we'll watch the events. But all right, 5 minutes in, we get a power play. I don't actually know what happened, but penalties, delay game. So all right. 7 minutes left. We got nothing on the power play. Shots are pretty much even. However, the scoreboard is not. Subban gets a goal on Saros, his former teammate. Heading into the second period. Let's keep it going here. Goals from the top of the slot. It looks like Nashville gets a second goal. Their top 4 defensemen are getting it done on the back end. Ryan Ellis with the second goal of the game. We're significantly outshooting them. And there we go. DeBrincat gets one on Rene from a crazy angle. What kind of angle is that? All right, I'll take it, though. 1 minute left in the second here. Going into the third period, down by 1. Got the crazy angle shot by DeBrincat there. We're still out shooting them. And I believe we're, more on the power play as well. I think that's our third power play of the game. I believe that's our fourth right there. And our power play is not clicking. So we're, I think, 0 for 4 on the day. Maybe 0 for 3, if I'm counting correctly. There's 5. And we don't get it done. So we get a late power play. When was that penalty? That was late. Third period. Yeah, with 2:09 left. They get a slashing call. So somehow we don't pull that game out. Somehow. 3 stars the game. Rene. No surprise there. Obviously, 36 saves. And then Ellis and Subban each with a goal. I don't know. I mean, obviously, we have all the shots in the world. I mean, you look at that second period stats, and it's like 17-7. Not many chances in the third, though. So that was that's interesting stats. We had a pretty even first period. Then second period, we just absolutely dominated. I think that's when a bunch of the penalties were. So we might have been getting some chances, but just nothing was going in for us. So only getting, 1 goal on the board from DeBrincat. You just absolutely hate to see that. The other thing we hate to see is an injury to Alex Martinez. That means we're going to call up Gustafsson from the AHL. We did send all of those guys down, by the way. I don't know if I mentioned that or not. He's upset or something, probably because he got sent down. But we want him to play down there, so we fixed that. So let's put him in the lineup, get him in that third line left defensive role, and get on to game 2. All right, here we are with game number 2, coming off the 1-goal loss. Even though we kind of outshot them and outchanced them and had 5, I think, power plays, we just couldn't get it done. But here in game 2, we hope to rebound, and we don't rebound. We had allowed a goal instantly, and I didn't actually see who that was. Subban with his 2nd goal of the series, and oh my goodness. On our 2nd shot of the game, Solani scores. And then Koivu scores. I don't even know what to say. So our rookies get it done. Their playoff debut goals. The shots were 12-1 at 12-1 at one point. And then we scored on, I think it was either back-to-back shots or within a couple shots of each other. We scored. All right, let's keep it going. So the rookies are showing up. Our team. Kruger gets one on the 4th line. What is with that corner down there where it just keeps getting those shots that are just random? But now we're getting significantly outshot. We go to the power play. Nothing on that one. 21-9 in shots. That's absolutely just insane that we have the lead right now. 4-1. Colin Miller gets one from the back end. You absolutely love to see that one. Let's get right on. 3rd period time. Keep it going. Saad gets another one on the power, or not on the power play. Was it on the power play? Might have been on the power play. But Saad gets one on Renate. First one of the 3rd period. So ever since they scored that first goal, a couple minutes into the game, we've been on a roll. Patrick Kane gets his first of the playoffs, making it 6-1. The shots were 29 to, what was it, 29-7, I believe, at one point. What do I even say to that? Where was that the first game? 3 stars of the game. Solani playing on the 3rd line. 1 goal, 2 assists for 3 points. Miller on the back end there gets the 3rd star. And then Saros right in the middle there, the 2nd star. Only allowed 1 goal, 31 saves. You absolutely just love to see that one. I mean, look at the shots. 5, 12. So I don't know. This is gonna be a good series. So we're now tied 1-1. So after a tough game in game number 1, the 2-1 loss, even though we arguably outplayed them, we get our redemption in game number 2. But it looks like we got some injuries in the AHL. So we'll take care of that and get on to game 3 and hopefully continue the momentum. Game 3 time, where we come off game 2 on a 6-1 win, and obviously a tough game 1. We could always talk about that one, but game 2, you're only as good as your last performance, and that kind of shows in the 6-1 victory against Nashville here. But game number 3, we're starting out, and no early goals are happening in this one. It looks like we're going to be in for a good treat here. We go to the power play about halfway through the first. And shots are even, which is something that hasn't really happened in the series so far, which is good because we want a good close series, but we also want to win this series. So let's keep going here. 2nd period, no score until Patrick Kane gets one on the power play, I believe, and he gets his what was that, 2nd, maybe 3rd of the postseason so far. Back in the power play. This time we don't get anything done, but returning to the lineup, Michael McLeod gets his first goal of the playoffs. Duchesne shortly after there gets the 3rd goal of the game. And we're continuing from game 2. You absolutely just love to see this. And we start to pull away in the game. And hopefully we can get one more here and kind of put the nail in the coffin. There it is. Patrick Kane getting his, I believe, 3rd or 4th of the playoffs. I believe it's his 3rd. Yossi gets one back, ruins the shutout, but we still got the lead by 3 with 3 minutes left. I believe this one's over. Might get a last-second one, but it doesn't matter. We take the game 4-1. Massive 2nd period. Once again, Patrick Kane on top as per usual. 2 goals, 1 assist. Saros again in the middle, and DeBrincat with the 3 assists. You absolutely just love to see how our team's playing right now. 10 goals in the last 2 games. Let's hope to keep the momentum into game number 4. the game right before we head back to Chicago. And it looks like we got Alex Martinez back for game number 4. So let's put him in and get ready for game 4. Game 4 is here now, and what's actually funny was when we took Gustafsson out of the lineup, he played 2 games. He also had 2 assists, so he was actually doing quite well when he was up here. I think it was like +3 or something like that. So you absolutely love to see it. Obviously, we have our new regular back in the lineup here for Game 4 and Alex Martinez. But let's keep it going. We got 10 goals in the last 2 games, and Saad quickly answers with his first goal of the game. I guess the first goal of the game. Get a 5-on-3 power play. Nothing on that, but DeBrincat gets one after it, which you just absolutely love to see. We're on 12 goals in the last 2 games, and actually it would be 3 games. Now we got 3 in this one. Solani gets his second, I believe, of the playoffs. Another great first period from us. Early power play. Let's keep it rolling. 5-on-3. Hopefully we can get one here, and it doesn't look like we did. That was a long power play. I wonder if that was a 4-minute or maybe even a 5. But all right, 9 minutes left here in the second. Another power play. Nothing on that one. What are we saying? So we're out shooting him once again. There we go. Solani with his second of the game. I believe that's his third of the playoffs. Can we hold on to this lead and hopefully maintain the shutout for Saros? And hopefully someone like Yossi doesn't ruin it. But another power play. Gets a 5-on-3 at one point there. 10 minutes left. Looks like we're holding on here. 38 shots so far. And Koivu makes it 5-0. And hopefully we can preserve the shutout. That'd be huge. 2 seconds left. And Saros gets the 5-0 shutout. A massive first period from our team. The pair of rookies there on top. 2 goals, 1 assist, 3 points each. Koivu 1 and 2. Saros once again in the stars column. You just absolutely love to see how our team's playing right now. And 41 shots, by the way. Wow. That's just incredible. But all right, let's keep it going. We got 15 goals in this series alone. We have 16 total. That's crazy. So after game 1, our team was like, nah, we're not losing this one. So let's keep this going. But let's take a quick look before we get into game 5 here. It looks like our AHL team, Rockford, is facing the Texas Stars in their first round of the playoffs. Good luck to them down there, obviously. But we're focused up here. We got 16 goals so far this postseason and only, 4 allowed? That's crazy. Let's keep it going, though. We're game 5, I believe. I think we're back in Chicago. What can we do here? I'm just excited because another power play. Well, not just that, but I mean, we just absolutely just started going off after the first period or like the first game. We just were like, no, we want this more than you do, and our offense just started to show. So it kind of hurt us or helped us a lot last year. And it kind of all flipped out in the first round of the playoffs last year. But this time, our offense comes through against Nashville, against a really good top 4, really good top 6, and a very good goaltender. It's tough to see, obviously, from last year. But this year, doing a lot better. More games already. And we got no score. Oh, last second goal there by Sissons. So we're down 1-0 here going into the third period. And it looks like Sissons got his first there. But I'm confident. Let's keep it going here. Only 1 goal on the board so far. Easy to come back from. Not really easy because it's the NHL and it's the playoffs, so it's always more intense in the playoffs. But all right, we got 5 minutes here. I guess 6 minutes. Forsberg gets the second goal of the game there, and looks like not going to be in this one. So even after the couple games swing of completely blowout games, that somehow we come into game 5 and lose. I just don't understand how that happens. I mean, we go from a really close game 1. Actually, we were home on game 1. And then we go to a 6-1 game. Then we go to Nashville, absolutely destroy them in Nashville. And then we come back home and we lose. It's really weird, but all right. We got game 6. With the chance to close out the series. I forgot to mention that in game 5, but We're back in Nashville, where the last 2 games went really well for us. But can we finish it out here? Our AHL team, Rockford, is 2-0 in their series. I believe they're playing a best-of-5 in the first round. So they're one game away from closing their series out. But another early power play for us. 2 early power plays early in the first. DeBrincat gets his first goal of the game. I guess the first goal of the game. I keep forgetting that one. But once again, look at the shots. 11-4. Really out-shooting us right now. But we got him on the scoreboard, which is the only number that really matters. DeBrincat gets his second goal of the game. Can he complete the hat trick? I guess we'll be on the watch for that one. Another power play. It looks like Nashville takes a lot of penalties, which is good for us because I think we were, the number 3 power play? I believe it was overall. So they've sent us to the power play. We have a really good chance to kind of finish it all out. Nashville gets the late goal in the second period. However, quickly answered by Duchesne. We head into the third period up 3-1, up 2 goals. Let's close this one out and bring it home to Chicago. 15 minutes left until we move past the first round. Fiala gets one. However, we're still confident here. They're on the power play. We kill it off. 5 minutes left. 4 minutes. 3 minutes. 2 minutes. 1 minute. 3 seconds. And we're out. We beat Nashville in the first round of the playoffs. Although we had a great start to the game, they made it close at the end. But Saros apparently gets the number 1 overall star. Duchesne with 1-1. DeBrincat with his 2 goals. I don't know if I jinxed him there with the hat trick. But great game. I mean, great series. 4-2. Looks like Sabatka got an injured shoulder, so we'll have to fix that lineup. But let's fix our lineup, call someone up, and let's figure out who we're facing in round number 2. So in the second round, it looks like we're about to get our rematch versus the Dallas Stars from last year. They went to Game 6 as well. And remember, we get Dylan Strome back for, looks like, after Game 3. So we'll have him hopefully for Game 4 if he's back by then. But we got to be careful so he doesn't get post-concussion syndrome. And then he's out for the rest of the year. So we don't want that. But since we haven't looked at Dallas, let's go back and see what they're doing. Alex DeBrincat leading our team with 8 points. You absolutely love to see that one. But all right, let's go see what the Dallas Stars bring to us this year. Looks like to be a similar team as last year, I believe. Jamie Benn not there. So it looks like they got an injury to him. But all right, they still got their top 2 there with Dzingel and okay. So this is an interesting team because Dallas last year was a one-line team, but they destroyed us. So we're back here to get our revenge. And I don't exactly remember their team from last year, but it does look very, very close to the team last year. I don't know if they actually signed. Yeah, I don't know if they actually signed some new players, but Ben Bishop still in the net. Jamie Benn, yep, he's out. So, although that sucks for them, because, 12 points in the playoffs, he's been dominating for them. He would definitely outperform us. So, wait, they played 11 games? How do they play 11 games? That doesn't even make sense. But all right. So, round number 2 here. We're facing off against Dallas. Let's take a quick look at this, the stats and everything to see what's going on with our team. This is actually the wrong stats. I need to go over to the playoff stats. So if the game would load, there we go. So player stats. So quick look. Not going to spend too much time on it. Just kind of scroll through it. But DeBrincat, Solani doing very well. Who's not doing well is the real question. Perlini, okay. So I think he's still on the first line if I'm not mistaken. So I kind of want to swap that up if possible. On defense, we're still doing fine. Don't get me wrong. I'm not going to sit here and judge all of our defensemen. But for the most part, our team's playing well, with the exception of Perlini. I I kind of want to do just kind of like one swap because Solani's doing real well, and that dude on the first line is doing well, I believe. Yeah, 5 points. And he's got 4 points there. So let's swap Perlini off that first line. Let's put Solani up there. I was thinking about putting Koivu up there, but Solani's just performing just a little bit better. But let's check out this new first line with Solani there, and see how that works out. Because when we did draft Solani, his similar style, I don't think I could see it anymore. His similar style is Patrick Kane, so that's interesting. And he's also, I just realized, he's 18 years old, 1 year older from when we drafted him, and he's now an 86 overall. So, okay, so let's keep it going. I don't think we don't have any other injuries to fix or anything, and we don't have anyone to bring back in the lineup. So let's get right into simulating round 2 versus Dallas. Let's get our redemption here. I'd argue we're a better team than we were last year, and Dallas was without their star player and Jamie Benn. So hopefully that helps us out. Obviously, you never want to wish injury on anyone, but let's hope that helps us out. 1-0. Koivu gets a goal. I believe that was Koivu. Was that nope, that was Koivu. All right. So great start so far for us. I mean, it's a little bit closer of a shot matchup in the first where it was completely uneven, but somehow we were out shooting the first game of the first series. But we're heading into the second period now with the 1-goal lead. And I'm liking it so far. I mean, we're kind of just maintaining things until we allow Guerrierov and then Niskushkin. These Russian names are going to be the end of me. But Dallas takes a 2-1 lead. As soon as I say that, Dzingel makes the 3-1 lead. And as soon as I said I was liking what I was seeing, then we have players that just want to ruin our days and start scoring some more for the opposing team. But Saad gets the second goal of the game for us, bringing the lead for Dallas down to 1 until Dickinson there. It looks like we put Bennington in the net. Koivu gets his second of the game. Can we get one more before the third period? Nope. Gurianov again gets the 5th goal, putting it out of reach. And then Honka looks like with the empty net there for a 6-3 win. I wish I could set some kind of parameters for a goaltender being pulled, because at this point when he gets pulled, it's a 3-2 game, at least. It might be a 3-1 game depending on when in the third he was pulled, but it's a 3-2 game in the playoffs. So you wouldn't necessarily pull him, the same as if it was the regular season. So that'd be kind of something I would love to see in the future. But I guess as for our series now, they won for now. They took game 1. They won this battle. Haven't won the war yet. AHL team's gotten injured. Let's fix that, and hopefully we can get our team motivated for game 2. Here we are, game 2. All the injuries are fixed for our AHL team in Rockford. It looks like they're tied up in their series 2-2. Hoping that we tie the series up 1-1 here. I believe we're in Chicago. So hopefully we can get our game going here in game 2. A quick start for us with a ton of shots, but wait, hold on. So much just happened at once. Okay, so they scored, and then 30 seconds later we scored. So I was gonna mention the shots, how it was like 8-0, and then they scored on their first shot of the game, and then we scored immediately right after. So that was interesting. Kind of ruined my talking point. But 19-8 in shots. Not all about shots, though. It's what happened, or what matters is on the scoreboard. And unfortunately, the number on Dallas' side is now higher than ours. Niskushkin, probably butchered that again, gets the second goal of the game, taking the lead in this one. We go to the power play. Nothing happening on that one. 5 minutes left. We get another power play here. And another one? Or is that the same one? I don't even know. But heading to the third period now, we're still leading in shots, which is really just amazing how that works out. But third period time. This is when we clutch up another power play. Another one. We're who is it, Drake up here? Another one. There we go. Duchesne You love to see that. We're above 40 shots now. 10 minutes left. Can we take the lead here in the third period? 5 minutes left. What can we do here? Let's not allow them to have a goal. And they get 2 quick ones right at the end there. I assume the last one was empty net since it's not on a goaltender. But all right, so Dallas wants to keep us out of the playoffs. And, although we didn't make it farther than last year, we want to beat them. So in order to do that, we need to take games in their building, it looks like, since we can't win at home. And that's unfortunate. So we're going to be losing Alex DeBrincat to an MCL sprain basically for the entire playoffs is basically what that means. So that sucks because I believe he was our leading point getter in the playoffs so far. But yeah, look at that big hole he leaves right in this lineup. So we got to figure out something to do. I don't know if Strom's back yet. It doesn't look like he is. But we got to call up somebody and figure out the lineup. So let's do that. Figure the game out, or figure the gameplay. Figure the lineup out for Game 3, and hopefully we go into Dallas with a fresh new mind, and hopefully we take Game 3. So we're on to game number 3, and not the start we wanted in this series with hopefully our redemption against Dallas. But we set ourselves right now 0-2 heading into Dallas. And we lost our... he was tied for the top point getter for us. It was like a 3 or 4 way tie between like Kane, Solani, and DeBrincat. But we lose DeBrincat, and we shook up the lineup a little bit. But let's go take a quick look at kind of the new lineup right now, because DeBrincat left a massive hole for us. And here it is. So we swapped Saad onto the first line with Duchesne and Kane. We swapped Koivu up to the second line with Taves. We put Solani off the first line, put him on the second line. And then our third line, Perlini jumps down, mainly due to performance. He only's got 1 point in 8 games, and Koivu's got 6. So it's hard to argue not putting Koivu up there, especially when he kind of deserves it. So the line that started as our third line this year is now our second line, which is kind of interesting. But then we got Frolik. We moved him up to the third line. We called up Graham Knott, one of the guys that was performing the best in the AHL. He's got 5 points in 5 games so far in the AHL playoffs. And now we called him up. So we got Fortin, whatever his name is, and Knott up here on the fourth line with Kruger. Defense, Fowler wasn't really doing well in the first line. No points, -3 on the first line. So we swapped Keith up there to the top line, 1-1, +2, to play alongside of Boquist. And hopefully that jump starts that lineup. And then we got a third line down here. Obviously, same goaltender. And we continue. So this is going to be the lineup until hopefully we get some of our guys back from injury. Mainly Strome and DeBrincat, because those are 2 massive holes in our lineup. But let's keep it going. Let's get to Game 3 here. We're heading to Dallas. And what's funny is our AHL team, Rockford, actually beat their affiliate, the Texas Stars, in the first round. They're facing off against, I believe is it Vegas now? With Chicago. I don't remember, but they're facing them in the second round. But let's get on to it. Game number 3. Let's get it going here. So we're in Dallas. The what do they call their arena? I don't remember. But 14 gets his first goal of the playoffs. I'm not sure if that's his first ever NHL goal or not. But not our fourth line. 14 again. And then Radulov gets one. We just got 3 goals. What? We got 2 goals 20 seconds apart from our fourth line. All right, keep it going. Second period time, 3-1 now. Our third line has 3 goals, all from the slot. One right up close, one kind of medium range, and one a little bit longer range. But all right, keep it going. 7 minutes left in the second period here. All right. I mean, we talked up all these, top point getters and guys that are all tied at 8 points. And these new guys we just called up are like, we're here to play. And wow. All right, so let's keep it going. What are we in, third period? Yeah, we're in third period time. 8 minutes left. Can we close it out? And hopefully bring back game 3 and move on to game 4 off of a win. And we do. So our fourth line, I mean, 14, 2-1, 3 points for him, not with a goal. Saros gets the third star down there. Now I'm curious, what did that fourth line do for us? So Kruger had 2 assists himself and not. +3. So our third line. Oh my goodness. But all right, you absolutely love to see that. Obviously, we got Saros in that. We already saw his stats. So let's continue on and get into game 4 after a massive performance from our fourth line. Not something you usually see, but what we wanted to see. Chicago player Dylan Strome is back available. So we'll get him in here in a second, along with Blake Spears. We'll put him back in the AHL. And there's more people back. So I guess now's the time to fix the lineup and prepare for Game 4, restocked and ready to roll. So once again, our lineup looks a little bit different. Heading to game number 4, as you guys saw, we got a couple people returning from injury. And this is how our lineup looks to start off that game. So we brought back the dynamic duo of Strome and Kane. Those two guys carried us through the regular season, so we got to put those two back together. Now we got a second line of Koivu, Solani, and Duchesne. I'm actually pretty excited for this line, to be honest, because this is like a pure offensive line, which you just love to see. Perlini's still down the third line. We dropped Taves down to the third line as well. McLeod, who was holding down our third line center spot while Strome was out, is doing quite well. I mean, 4 points, +4 in 9 games as a third line center, filling a big role, was huge for him. So you can't just not put him or not keep him in the lineup, because he's definitely earned that spot. Then on the fourth line, we had to make a tough call. And we had to take out Knott. And although we had a big goal in that game, we just had to kind of put him back and put Frolik back on that fourth line. We do have Sabatka back from injury. That's one thing I should mention. He is back from injury. But with that amazing game performance, I'd like to give him another game in 14. So, like I said, I want to give him another game. I'm not saying, he has to score to stay in the lineup, but after that huge game, you can't just not keep him in. And especially we'll let Sabatka come back from injury and see what's going on with him. So it gives Sabatka some time to recover fully, and it gives whoever I'm talking about, 14, another game to show what he can do up here in the NHL. Fighting for a spot next year as well, because he's still young, and he's at that overall where he can definitely play in the NHL. And so far, he's showing why he can do that. But game number 4, we actually started the game on the power play. That was an early one. Richie, high stick. All right. So I guess you like to see that from us. However, we give back another power play. Ryan Dzingel gets a goal for Dallas right after we go on the power play, get nothing off of it. However, Taves and Koivu get 2 goals back-to-back. Koivu now on the second line with that whole line, and then Taves back on the third line. So it's obviously tough putting a star like Taves on the third line, but with players like Duchesne and with Strome that are just simply outperforming him, which I hate, because Taves is one of the faces of the franchise. But we got multiple faces of the franchise, and one of them being Brandon Saad. Or is it Brendan Saad? Brandon Saad? Whichever one it is. But you absolutely love to see that one. Solani getting a goal after filling the spot of DeBrincat there on the second line. And we head into the third period up 4-1. Can we close out game number 4? We've done this in the past. We've had big leads, and we've kind of held on to them. Solani getting his second of the game. And us going back on the power play. Strome making his return to the lineup here in game number 4. Gets the 6th goal of the game. We got 2 minutes left here, and another massive game for us. 2 goals apiece in each period. Saros, number 1 star. The wingers on the second line, Koivu and Solani, 3 points each. That's what you just absolutely love to see. These young guns just putting up points. You just absolutely love to see that. I don't know what else to say. So, once again, we come across the issue that we can't really win at home, but then we go away and we smoke them. So, as soon as we learn how to win at home, we'll be either sweeping these guys or winning in Game 5. But we're heading to Game 5 with a series tied 2-2. No one's coming back from injury unless it happens between now and then. But Noel is now out with an injured groin. But let's prepare for Game 5. Let's see if anyone else comes back from injury. So we're coming off a massive victory in Dallas, 6-1. However, we flew home back to Chicago, and now we're facing off against Dallas here. Game number 5. A big 6-1 victory. Nobody else back from injury here in Chicago. One thing I also haven't seen there, I guess we didn't really check on, was when Jamie Benn was going to be back. So that's something we do have to watch out for, because I don't actually know when he's going to be back. But there we go. Let's get back to goals here. We're on the power play. 10-2 shots early on here. Back in the power play. Nothing so far. All right, going into the second period here. No score on the board. Dallas is significantly out shooting us. And there he is, the guy that we've been talking about, Jamie Benn. I don't know if this is his first game back or if we just didn't see him last game. But he comes back with a goal for Dallas, 20-5 in shots. What can we do here? Let's get it back. Shorthanded goal maybe? No. All right, so it looks like we're going into the third period, down 1. This is easily comebackable. Easy. Let's bring it back. We scored 6 goals last game. There we go. Matt Duchene with the 2 young guns on his wings. I don't know who set him up, but Radulov gets the second goal of the game for Dallas. Ben again, his second goal of the game. You just absolutely hate to see that. Us go on the power play. There we go. Duchene with his second. 6 minutes left. We can do this. Come on, boys. 3 minutes left. 2 minutes left. 1 minute late goal? Nope. Doesn't look like it's going to happen here in game number 5. So it looks like we're going back to Dallas, down a game, and now we are on the fringe of being knocked out. Duchene, his 2 goals weren't enough for us in this game, but good performances to Dallas. Obviously, Ben getting his 2 goals. But all right, we head back to Dallas, where we had some luck. We've had our only 2 wins so far this series away in Dallas. Do I want to swap up anything? I mean, we've been playing fine. We've been playing fine in Dallas. But with the series on the line, I don't want to change anything. Mainly because our team's been playing well. Just at home, we've been playing a little shaky. So, however we need to fix that, I'm not sure. But I guess that's something we'll have to do in the off season, because right now it's playoff hockey time, and Radulov just does not want to go away. As Radulov, and then Heiskanen gets the second goal of the game. So although we started off strong, I think we had like 5 or 6 shots before they had their first. They come back instantly, get 2 quick goals, almost a minute apart, and they take the lead. So can we come back here? We go to the power play. Jonathan Taves says yes, we can. Probably should have changed the lineup because we didn't change it back since all the injuries. But hopefully we can win this game, and for Game 7 we can figure that out. But all right, 4 minutes left in the second period. Dzingel, third goal of the game, not for him personally, but for Dallas. Let's go, boys. What are we doing? 20 minutes left to move on to Game 7. We move on to Game 7. We have a chance to make it to round 3. To face off against the winner of Calgary and I don't remember who the other team was, but it doesn't matter. We need to get there. Let's do it right now. Shorthanded goal on the stupid power play for Dallas. Wasn't a power play goal, but Ben gets his, I believe, 3rd goal of the series so far. And our team needs to kind of turn up about right now if we want a chance in this series and move it to Game 7, going back to Dallas. And for the second year in a row, the Dallas Stars knock us out of the playoffs. And that just sucks. What is it about this team that just keeps knocking us out? We need to avoid Dallas. That's the key right there. Is the Dallas Stars just keep us from moving on into the playoffs. So we finished the postseason 6-6. Win the first series 4-2 against Nashville. Move into round 2 against the Dallas Stars, and they don't want to let us go on. So it looks like Calgary and Arizona are going to. One of them is going to be facing the Dallas Stars in the third round, and then the Eastern Conference, Philly and New York are going to Game 7, and then Boston beat Tampa Bay. And that just sucks because, now our season's just over. But I'm going to turn off injuries, and we can watch out the rest of the Rockford series and kind of watch that out and talk about what our plan is for next year. So although we don't get the result we wanted up in our series in the NHL, losing to Dallas 2-4 in the second round, our AHL team is still in it. And we made some roster moves, sent down all the extra people, and the kind of the star of the fourth line in the postseason, not in 14. And we also sent McLeod down just to get some more playing time down there. I figured it wasn't really realistic to send like Koivu or Solani back, just because they kind of played the entire year up here. But let's kind of watch out the rest of this series. And kind of going forward, I guess one of my plans for next year and moving on. So I'd like to get some more defense on our team. That's no question, because even if Keith doesn't retire, we're not going to have Martinez next year, and we're not going to have Gustafsson next year. So we'll have Ulevy still, but I'd like to get some more high-rated players to be on our defense. And then if we can kind of not necessarily move Saros to the backup role, but if we could get like a superstar goaltender, that'd be amazing. Because I don't know if that's what kind of hurt us or not, but even if we had our superstar goalie and we had Saros there, we'd have a really good goaltending tandem. And once we fix our defense and get that, it would be a pretty solid year. So it looks like the Rockford Ice Hogs, our AHL team, made it all the way to the Calder Cup Finals and ended up winning it versus, the Toronto Marlies. So you love to see that. Our AHL team absolutely dominated this year. I mean, not dominated, but they did quite well. But it looks like Matthew Highmore led the way down there, and they ended up winning it in their series. So congratulations to them. But since we already kind of talked about what we want for next year, the only really significant trade or anything I'm thinking about is probably getting rid of Perlini, mainly because we already have a really good top 6 with the addition of Taves and Koivu on that third line. We still have a really good, solid forward core. So we have a really good, 8 forwards. So even if we can add maybe a piece to that third line that's a little bit better, we'd have a solid top 9. I'd like to obviously get a really good top 4, maybe even top 6, and potentially see where that goes. Plus, obviously, a number 1 goaltender would be huge. Nothing against Saros, obviously a big year out of him. He brought us to the second round of the playoffs, 1 year farther than we did last year. So here are the draft lottery results. And I don't believe we have our pick this year, if I'm not mistaken. I don't remember. I guess we can check here in a little bit. But Vegas gets the first overall pick. Only 1 trade in here in the first round. So Detroit has the 7th and 8th overall pick this year. So I guess congrats to Vegas. Hopefully they get something decent out of their pick. And hopefully we can do a little bit better here. So I think the next thing we got is retirements. And we're not going to go through the offseason in this one. That will be next episode. But let's go see what we got here in Chicago. See if we got anyone retiring. So notable names there. I mean, pretty much everyone. Thornton, Hossa, Krejci, those types of guys. Obviously, Callahan down there. So, obviously, congrats to them on the retirement. I believe you would see Duncan Keith there if he was there. But let's go down here just to double check if anyone retired. So we got no skaters and goaltenders. I don't think we even had an elderly goaltender. But well, let's go check the goaltenders in general here. So the only real notable name there, Anthony Emmy. I guess congrats to him. There's only 4 goalies that retired this year. All right, so moving on, I guess now into the off season, we had a couple of players that are now scouts, and I'm eyeing a couple of them if they have good stats. Obviously, Thornton, Krejci, mainly those two. If we can get those two, that'd be actually huge, and put them somewhere in our organization. But we will check that out when the off season begins, and I guess I'll do the trade block here right now. So, all right, there's the trade block. Only one thing on it, Brendan Perlini, whoever it is. And now we're ready for the draft. So, like I said, we're not going to get into that this episode. But I also didn't, I can still look, right, of what picks we have. Yeah. So, as far as draft pick goes, we have our own first-round pick, which I believe is 21st overall. We have a second-round pick. We have 2 third-round picks, 3 fourth-round picks, 2 fifth-round picks, and 2 seventh-round picks. So we have a lot of picks, which would be, what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. We have 11 picks for this draft. The only round we don't have a pick in is round number 6. But I'm happy. I mean, we got a bunch of picks. We have a first-round pick this year. And I guess my homework off camera will be to go through the draft class and hopefully find someone in the 20-ish range to bring to Chicago. So I'm going to end this one here. If you did enjoy, hit the like button down below. Next year is a better year for us. Obviously, last year we got knocked out in the first round. We got swept 0-4. This year, we at least made it to the second round. We beat Nashville, and then we couldn't beat Dallas in the second round. So Dallas seems to be our nemesis here in the franchise mode. So like I said, if you did enjoy, hit the like button down below. If you haven't already, hit the subscribe button. And as always, guys,